Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a world where the roar of a stadium is replaced by the purr of 1,000 horsepower. Imagine for a single second that the world is your stage, but the open road is your only true sanctuary from the madness of fame. We all know them as the global icons who shattered every record in the music industry. But today, we're stepping away from the blinding stadium lights and into the dimly lit, high-security garages of Seoul's most elite. What does it truly feel like to possess a machine that is rarer than a platinum record or a sold-out world tour? Behind the heavy closed doors of BTS's private lives lies a collection of automotive art that would make any luxury enthusiast's heart skip a beat. We aren't just talking about shiny, expensive vehicles. We're talking about limited edition beasts, vintage legends that whisper stories of a forgotten past, and futuristic marvels that seem to arrive from another dimension. Is it just a display of wealth? Or is it a deep-seated passion for the mechanical soul? From the youngest member's aggressive, modern taste to the leader's sophisticated and intellectual choices, every car is a silent mirror reflecting their incredible journey from the bottom to the absolute pinnacle of global stardom. Can you guess which member owns a vehicle so rare that only a handful of examples exist on the entire planet? Who among them chooses the soft embrace of luxury over raw, unbridled power, and who hides a roaring monster under the hood of a sleek, deceptively silent frame? Today, we finally peel back the heavy velvet curtain on the most exclusive, jaw-dropping, and emotionally charged car collections ever seen in the K-pop industry. This is more than a list. It's an intimate look at the machines that match the legends. Prepare yourself for a ride through luxury, history, and pure adrenaline that will leave you breathless. Are you ready to find out what's really parked in the world of the biggest group on Earth? Let's begin this high-octane journey into the secret lives of the 7 kings. Number 7. Jin. The Royal Blue Predator Italian masterpiece, a symphony of V12 power. When we think of Kim Seok-jin, our minds immediately go to his ethereal, worldwide handsome visuals, his dad jokes that can brighten the darkest of days, and that crystalline voice that hits high notes with surgical precision. But behind that gentle, playful exterior lies a man with a taste for raw, unadulterated mechanical power that would make even the most seasoned gearhead's jaw drop to the floor. Imagine the streets of Seoul at 3 a.m., the city lights reflecting off a surface so blue it looks like a piece of the midnight sky has descended to Earth. We are talking about none other than the legendary Lamborghini Aventador S, finished in a stunning, deep royal blue that screams royalty and rebellion all at once. For years, Jin was spotted visiting the Lamborghini showroom, sparking rumors that left the fandom in a state of absolute frenzy until the world finally caught a glimpse of this beast. This isn't just a car, it's a mid-engine monster that represents the absolute pinnacle of Italian automotive engineering, a vehicle that demands respect the moment its ignition button is pressed. Underneath that sharp, aggressive carbon fiber skin lies a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 engine, a dying breed in an era of turbochargers and electric motors. This engine doesn't just run, it screams with a primal, metallic howl that echoes through the concrete canyons of Gangnam, producing a staggering 740 horsepower. Can you even begin to fathom the sensation of being pushed back into a hand-stitched leather seat as this machine catapults from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a heart-stopping 2.9 seconds? It's a physical manifestation of Jin's own journey, sleek and sophisticated on the outside, but possessing an incredible, explosive strength on the inside that he only reveals when the timing is perfect. The Aventador S is a masterpiece of aerodynamics, featuring an active rear wing that adjusts to the speed, ensuring that this Predator stays glued to the tarmac even as it approaches its terrifying top speed of 350 kilometers per hour. But why would the eldest member of the world's biggest group choose such a flamboyant, aggressive machine? Perhaps it's because, in a world where he is constantly under the microscope, the cockpit of a Lamborghini is one of the few places where he can truly feel the thrill of total control. Every gear shift from the 7-speed independent shifting rod transmission is like a bolt of lightning, a mechanical percussion that rivals the complexity of a BTS choreography. To own an Aventador S is to own a piece of history, as the V12 lineage is slowly reaching its sunset, making this specific model a collector's dream that will only appreciate in value as the decades roll by. It's reported that the price tag for such a marvel exceeds $500,000 before you even consider the custom touches that a star of Jin's caliber surely requested. Think about the irony. The man who loves to cook and care for his younger members, who finds joy in the simplest things, is the same man who tames a beast capable of tearing up a racetrack. This contrast is what makes the Jin Lambo lore so fascinating to fans and car enthusiasts alike. It's not just about the wealth, it's about the appreciation for craftsmanship, the way the light catches the Y-shaped LED headlights, and the sheer audacity of the scissor doors opening like the wings of a predatory bird. As we reflect on this, one has to wonder, does Jin find a sense of peace in the roar of the engine that drowns out the noise of the world? Does the vibration of the steering wheel remind him of the adrenaline he feels on stage at Wembley or SoFi Stadium? This car is more than a status symbol. It is a sanctuary of speed, a blue streak of lightning that proves the worldwide handsome legend has a very serious, very fast side. It's the ultimate statement of a man who has conquered the world and now chooses to navigate it in one of the most iconic silhouettes ever designed by human hands. Just imagine the sight Jin stepping out of those iconic doors, the wind ruffling his hair, as the engine cools down with a series of mechanical clicks and pops, a silent testament to a journey that started in a small practice room and led to the seat of an Italian legend. Is this the most aggressive car in the BTS garage? Or is there something even more shocking waiting in the shadows of the other members' private collections? The Aventador S is just the beginning of our journey into the high-octane secret lives of these 7 icons. It sets a bar so high that you might think it's impossible to top, but believe me when I say, the road ahead is filled with even more rare and expensive surprises that will redefine everything you thought you knew about their personal tastes. As the blue paint shimmers under the moonlight, we move forward, leaving the roar of the V12 behind to discover what lies in the hands of the next member. Are you ready to see what happens when limitless fame meets a bottomless passion for the world's most exclusive wheels? Number 6. Suga, the Iron Fortress of Daegu. A masterclass in understated power, the titan of reliability. If there is one member of BTS who embodies the phrase, "still waters run deep," it is undoubtedly Min Yoongi, the man known to the world as Suga and the fierce August D. In a world of flash and temporary glitter, Yoongi has always been the one to value substance over style, and his choice of wheels is a profound reflection of that very philosophy. While others might chase the screaming engines of European supercars, Yoongi chose something that feels like a physical manifestation of his own journey, a machine that is large, imposing, and unshakable. We are talking about the flagship of South Korean automotive pride, the Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy Edition. But don't let the SUV label fool you. This isn't just a vehicle for getting from point A to point B. For a man who spent his youth navigating the treacherous streets of Daegu on a delivery scooter, a journey that left him with a scarred shoulder and a heart full of unresolved ambition, the Palisade is more than a car. It is a fortress. It is a sanctuary of safety and silence for a mind that never stops composing the next chart-topping hit. Imagine the contrast. The boy who once had to choose between a bus ride and a bowl of noodles is now the owner of a vehicle that represents the absolute peak of Korean engineering. The Palisade Calligraphy isn't just a car, it's a statement of loyalty to his roots. As a global ambassador for Hyundai, Suga didn't just pick this car for the cameras. He picked it because it matches his Minstradamus persona, calculated, prepared for anything, and undeniably powerful. Under the hood lies a robust 3.8-liter Lambda 2 V6 engine, a mechanical heart that pumps out a steady 291 horsepower and 262 pounds-feet of torque. It doesn't scream like a Ferrari, but it pulls with the relentless, heavy torque of a producer who knows exactly how to layer a baseline for maximum impact. This is a vehicle designed to conquer long distances with ease, much like Suga's own career, which has been a marathon of endurance rather than a sprint. When you step inside, you aren't just entering a cabin, you are entering a mobile studio. The calligraphy trim is the most exclusive version of this beast, featuring quilted Nappa leather seats that feel like a soft embrace after a grueling 12-hour recording session. Every inch of the interior is meticulously crafted, with a microfiber suede headliner and an ambient lighting system that can be adjusted to match the mood of his latest track. For a producer like Suga, the silence inside the cabin is his most valuable asset. The acoustic, laminated glass, and extensive sound insulation create a dead room effect, allowing him to analyze melodies in his head without the intrusion of the outside world's noise. It is reported that he often spends time alone in his car, using the space to reflect, away from the prying eyes of the paparazzi and the weight of being a global icon. The car features a 12.3-inch fully digital instrument cluster and a Harman Kardon premium audio system that delivers sound with a clarity that satisfies even the most demanding ears of a professional audio engineer. But why the Palisade? Why not a Bentley or a Rolls-Royce? The answer lies in the emotional weight of his past. The Palisade offers 3 rows of seating, a vast expanse of space that symbolizes the big house, big cars, big rings he once dreamed about in his lyrics. It is a vehicle that can carry his entire world, his equipment, his thoughts, and his brothers within its steel frame. There is something deeply poetic about a man who started with nothing, choosing a car that is built to protect. The advanced HTRAC all-wheel drive system ensures that no matter the weather, whether it's the heavy snow of a Seoul winter or the rain-slicked streets of a late-night drive, the car remains grounded. Much like Yoongi himself remains grounded despite the astronomical heights of his fame. The safety features are legendary, from the blind spot view monitor to the forward collision avoidance assist, acting like a silent guardian for the man who is the backbone of BTS's production. This car is a mirror of his life. It looks sophisticated and calm on the outside, but inside, it is packed with cutting-edge technology and a powerhouse of an engine that is ready to perform at a moment's notice. It's the Suga of cars, functional, luxurious in a way that doesn't need to shout, and incredibly reliable. To see him behind the wheel of this metallic beast is to see a man who has finally found his peace, a man who values the comfort of his home country's greatest achievements. It reminds us that even when you have the world at your feet, there is no greater luxury than the feeling of being safe, secure, and connected to where you came from. The Palisade is a testament to the Min Yoongi way. Work hard in silence, let your success be your noise, and always, always drive something that can handle the weight of your dreams. As this iron giant rolls through the streets of Seoul, it leaves us wondering, if this is the level of sophistication for number 6, what kind of rare, high-performance marvel could possibly be waiting for us as we move closer to the top of this list? Who in the group has a taste that is even more specialized, even more exclusive than this fortress on wheels? The journey is only getting more intense, and the engines are only getting louder. Number 5. J-Hope. The silver bullet of Gwangju, a timeless icon of precision, the dance of the flat 6. Jungkook, our eternal sunshine, the man who moves like water and shines like 1,000 stars on stage, has a taste in cars that is as sharp, rhythmic, and meticulously balanced as his own choreography. While his public persona is often filled with bright colors and explosive energy, his choice of a personal ride reveals a more sophisticated, technical, and speed-hungry side that most fans only catch in glimpses. We are diving into the world of the Porsche 911 Carrera, a car that is not just a vehicle, but a legend that has defined the very concept of a sports car for over 6 decades. Imagine Hobie, after a long day of perfecting the Hope on the Street moves, sliding into the cockpit of this silver beast. The 911 is the ultimate driver's car, and for someone who understands body control better than anyone on the planet, it's the perfect match. This isn't just about showing off, it's about the connection between man and machine. Under the rear hood, yes, the engine is in the back. Giving it that iconic, tail-heavy handling characteristic lies a 3-liter twin-turbocharged flat-6 engine. It's a mechanical masterpiece that produces a crisp 379 to 443 horsepower, depending on the exact trim, but it's the way that power is delivered that matters. It's linear, immediate, and accompanied by a metallic, raspy growl that sounds like a symphony to any enthusiast's ears. When Hobie steps on the gas, the 8-speed Porsche Doppelkupplung (PDK) transmission shifts gears faster than a human eye can blink, propelling him from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a staggering 3.5 to 4 seconds. Can you feel the G-force pulling at your chest, similar to the rush of a stadium trapdoor launching you onto the stage in front of 80,000 screaming fans? The Porsche 911 Carrera is known for its fly line, that unmistakable sloping roofline that hasn't changed its core silhouette since 1963. representing a legacy of staying true to oneself while constantly evolving. Much like J-Hope's own artistic journey from a street dancer in Gwangju to a global fashion and music icon. The interior is a cockpit of high-tech minimalism, where every button and dial is positioned with surgical precision, allowing the driver to focus entirely on the road. For Hobie, who is known for his perfectionism and attention to every tiny detail in a performance, the 911's legendary handling and steering feedback must feel like an extension of his own nervous system. It's reported that this silver bullet costs upwards of $100,000, but in the world of luxury, it's considered a purist's choice. It's for those who actually love the act of driving, not just the status of owning. The car's active aerodynamics and PASM, Porsche Active Suspension Management, ensure that it stays composed whether he's cruising through the sleek tunnels of Seoul or taking a spirited drive through the outskirts of the city to clear his mind. There's a deep emotional reflection here. J-Hope is the bridge of BTS, the one who keeps the balance, and the 911 is the most balanced sports car ever made. It is reliable enough for a daily commute, but fierce enough to dominate a track, mirroring Hobie's ability to be the group's hope while hiding the intense, hard-working team leader Jung persona that demands excellence. Every time those 4-point LED headlights pierce the darkness of a Seoul night, it's a reminder that even the brightest sun needs a moment of high-velocity solitude. It's a machine built for someone who appreciates the rhythm of the road, the texture of the asphalt, and the pure, unadulterated joy of movement. This car doesn't just transport him, it inspires him. But as we leave the rhythmic precision of J-Hope's Porsche behind, we have to ask ourselves, who in the group has gone even further? Who has chosen a car that isn't just a sports icon, but a symbol of absolute peak-level opulence that feels more like a private jet on wheels? The rankings are getting tighter, the prices are soaring into the millions, and the next member on our list is about to show us a completely different side of the BTS luxury lifestyle. Are you ready for the top 4? Number 4. RM. The intellectual beast, the sleeper of Seoul, a masterpiece of German precision. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached a pivotal moment in our countdown, a point where the narrative shifts from raw adrenaline and flamboyant displays of wealth to something far more cerebral, sophisticated, and deeply personal. We are talking about the man who is not just the leader of the world's biggest musical phenomenon, but a philosopher, an art collector, and a person whose every move is calculated with the precision of a master architect, Kim Namjoon, known to us all as RM. For years, the lore surrounding RM's relationship with the road was one of endearment and slight humor. We all knew the story of the genius with an IQ of 148 who could lead a global revolution but chose to navigate the world on the saddle of a bicycle, finding peace in the slow pace of Namjooning along the Han River. But as we enter the year 2026, the story has taken a dramatic, high-performance turn that has left the global fandom in absolute awe. After years of hesitation and what he candidly described as a trauma he needed to overcome, RM finally stepped behind the wheel. And he didn't just choose any car, he chose a machine that is the automotive equivalent of a sleeper hit. The Audi RS7 Sportback. Imagine the scene. A quiet, misty morning in Seoul. The city is just beginning to wake up, and a sleek, low-slung silhouette in Nardo gray glides silently through the shadows of the gallery district. This isn't just a car. It is a statement of intellectual power. The Audi RS7 is often referred to by enthusiasts as a wolf in sheep's clothing. At first glance, it possesses the elegant, flowing lines of a luxury four-door coupe, sophisticated enough to be parked in front of the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, where RM curates his exhibitions. But beneath that understated, refined exterior lies a heart of pure, unadulterated fire. We are talking about a 4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine, a mechanical marvel that breathes through 2 massive turbochargers to produce a staggering 591 horsepower and 590 pounds-feet of torque. For a man who spent his life appreciating the nuances of a brushstroke on a canvas, the way this car delivers power is nothing short of poetic. It doesn't just accelerate, it surges forward with a relentless, tidal force, propelled by Audi's legendary Quattro all-wheel drive system, which ensures that every ounce of power is translated into motion with zero drama and maximum efficiency. When RM taps the throttle, this 2-ton masterpiece of German engineering rockets from a standstill to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.5 seconds. That is the kind of speed that forces your breath back into your lungs, a physical sensation that mirrors the sudden, explosive success of a record-breaking album drop. But the beauty of the RS7, and why it fits Namjoon so perfectly, is its duality. It features an adaptive air suspension that can transition from the pillowy comfort of a luxury limousine to the razor-sharp stiffness of a track-focused weapon at the touch of a button. It matches the complexity of his mind. One moment he is the soft-spoken poet discussing the nature of existence, and the next, he is the fierce rapper commanding the stage with a presence that shakes the very foundations of the stadium. The interior is a digital sanctuary, a cockpit of glass and brushed aluminum that looks like it belongs in a high-end recording studio. With Audi's virtual cockpit and dual-screen MMI touch response system, every piece of information is at his fingertips, allowing him to maintain that sense of total control that he has spent his career perfecting. Think about the emotional weight of this purchase. For RM, getting his license in late 2025 wasn't about a need for transportation. He has an entire fleet of staff for that. It was about conquering a personal barrier, about the growth of a man who realized that to truly lead, he must also be able to navigate his own path, literally and figuratively. This car represents his newfound freedom. Every time he grips the flat-bottomed Alcantara steering wheel, he is reminded of the trauma he overcame, the fear of the road that he replaced, with the confidence of a driver who knows exactly where he is going. The RS7 is rare not just because of its price tag, which easily clears $130,000 before customizations, but because of the specific configuration Namjoon is rumored to have chosen. It's said to be a black optic package, where every piece of chrome is replaced with high-gloss black, making the car look like a shadow moving through the night, a silent guardian of his privacy. The exhaust system, specifically tuned for the RS models, provides a deep, resonant bass note that isn't loud for the sake of being loud, but rather a low-frequency hum that vibrates in your chest, much like the sub-bass of a BTS anthem. It's the sound of authority. As we reflect on this choice, we see the evolution of Kim Namjoon, the boy who rode a bike, is now the man who tames a V8. It's an inspiring narrative of personal evolution, a reminder that even when you are at the top of the world, there are still new skills to learn and new fears to face. The Audi RS7 isn't just a vehicle for him, it's a mobile gallery of technology, a masterpiece of form, following function, and a testament to the fact that the most powerful people don't always need to shout to be heard. They just need the right machine to carry them forward. But if the leader of BTS has chosen such a sophisticated sleeper for his daily drives, what could the other members be hiding? We are moving into the final 3 spots, where the cars become even more exotic, the prices climb into the stratosphere, and the stories behind them become legends. Are you prepared to see who has claimed the top 3? Who among them has a car so rare it's practically a museum piece? The engine of this countdown is just starting to hit its red line. Number 3. V, the soul of a rebel, the American legend reborn. A symphony of carbon fiber and raw emotion. When we talk about Kim Taehyung, we are not just talking about a singer with a baritone voice who plunges into the soul or a global fashion icon capable of turning the Parisian sidewalk into her personal catwalk. We are talking about an artist who sees the world through a unique aesthetic lens, a man who loves everything that has a soul and a strong character. Over the years, the world has come to know V as a person who is fascinated by classical elegance, a man who collected old film cameras and loved jazz very much. However, behind his poetic gaze and soothing boxy smile lies a hidden passion for the speed and power of the engine that contrasts sharply with his calm disposition. If earlier we were shocked by his decision to buy a Genesis GV80 just because he fell in love with its convenience while filming BTS's Run, then in 2026, Taehyung has just shaken up the automotive world and fandom with a choice that is completely beyond reason. Imagine a quiet coastal street in Hawaii. The sunset leaves an orange tinge on the western horizon, and suddenly the silence is broken by the roar of a V8 engine that is so thunderous that it feels like a small earthquake on the asphalt surface. From behind the wheel of a mechanical monster that looks like it came from the Le Mans racetrack comes the figure of Taehyung. The vehicle wasn't just any luxury car, it was the 2025 Ford Mustang GTD. A very rare, very expensive, and very wild American masterpiece. It's not just the Mustang you're used to seeing on the streets. It's a road-legal racing car, a technological anomaly Ford created to challenge European supercar dominance. Why did Taehyung, the gentle art lover, choose this car so aggressive and full of muscles? The answer lies in its incredible detail. Mustang GTD is not just a pile of iron and engines. Almost the entire body is made of lightweight carbon fiber, designed with extreme aerodynamic precision, including a giant rear wing that is hydraulically controlled to provide maximum downforce when darting in sharp turns. Under its air-vented hood lies the heart of a 5.2-liter V8 supercharged engine capable of spewing more than 800 horsepower. This is a crazy number, a force capable of catapulting this car from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in less than 3 seconds. For Taehyung, riding a Mustang GTD is an honest form of self-expression, an escape from the pressures of the entertainment industry that demands perfection. Inside the cramped but luxurious cabin, which is equipped with Recaro racing seats and titanium accents taken from parts of retired F-22 fighter jets, he finds his own freedom. Every time he stepped on the accelerator and felt the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission shifting with a rough but precise beat, he wasn't just driving, he was dancing with a legend. This car is so rare that Ford only produces it in very limited quantities, with prices that break the US $325,000 to $350,000 mark, or the equivalent of more than 5.4 billion rupiah before taxes go to exorbitant South Korea. But for V, the value of an object is never measured by its price, but by the story behind it. The Mustang GTD is a symbol of the spirit of irreverent rebellion, a fusion of iconic classic design with unstoppable future technology, exactly how Taehyung combines retro charm with modernity in each of his works. We often see him posting aesthetic photos on Instagram, but when he posts a picture of himself sitting relaxed in the driver's seat of a Mustang GTD, with his feet on the seat and a mask covering his face, he is sending the message that there is a side of him that is not touched by paparazzi cameras. A side that can only be felt through the vibrations of a pure V8 engine. Technical details, such as the semi-active suspension that lowers the car's height by 40 millimeters in track mode, show that Taehyung is not just a prestige-seeking buyer, but someone who values engineering genius. Can you imagine the feeling when the machine starts up in the middle of a quiet night in Seoul? The sound of his titanium exhaust wasn't just noise, it was a mechanical baritone rattling around in Taehyung's own low voice. The existence of the Mustang GTD and the Garage V be a clear proof of that he has evolved from a young man who only admired the beauty into a mature man who mastered the power. This is a very personal choice, a reflection of his complex psyche. On the one hand, he is an elegant Gucci boy, but on the other hand, he is a wanderer who longs for the roar of the wind and the adrenaline rush of speed. This car is his canvas on the highway, where he paints his own freedom on black asphalt. As he sped away, leaving a trail of tires and a characteristic smell of gasoline, one can only be stunned to see how a world star was able to find a balance between gentle art and a brutal engine. However, if V's Mustang GTD already makes your heart beat faster, wait until you see what's hidden in the second stage. We will move from American muscle power to the pinnacle of German luxury combined with absurd speed. Which member has a car that is even more exclusive and more expensive than Taehyung's monster? The next ranking will take us into territory that only 1% of the richest people in the world can dream of. Number 2. Jimin. The elegant shadow, the whisper of high performance, a masterpiece of silent sophistication. Welcome to a ranking that will hold your breath for a moment, because we are talking about Park Jimin, a man known for his silky smooth dance moves, but whose core strength is capable of shaking up the world stage. Jimin has often said on various occasions that he is not really an automotive enthusiast and that he took out his driving license simply because he felt it was an obligation as an adult. However, don't let its simplicity fool you. Behind his warm, caring, and loving personality lies a selection of vehicles that show a high level of taste that contrasts sharply with his humility. We're talking about the Porsche Panamera Turbo S, a luxury sports sedan that combines the elegance of a ballet dancer with the power of an Olympic athlete. This car is not just a means of transportation, it is a manifestation of Jimin's philosophy of life that always seeks perfection in every little detail. Imagine a very private garage in the Hanam-dong complex, where the dim light of the lights reflects on the surface of the black metallic paint so deep that you feel like you can drown in it. Jimin's Porsche Panamera Turbo S is not a standard model that you can find in a regular dealer. This is the highest variant, a monster that hides a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine behind its long and elegant hood. This engine is capable of producing power of 620 to 630 horsepower, a figure that is technically capable of making anyone's heart beat faster just by hearing the sound of its exhaust when it is first started. However, for Jimin, the appeal of this car is not only in its speed, which is able to accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a short time of 3.1 seconds, a speed that is almost equal to the blink of an eye when he performs pirouette turns on stage, but rather in how this car treats him as a passenger as well as a driver. The interior of the car is a masterpiece of the finest Napa leather, Alcantara, and carbon accents crafted with the precision of human hands, creating an atmosphere that is calm but full of future technology. For a Jimin who often spends hours in intensive training, the cabin of the Panamera Turbo S is his quietest escape. He is often seen in the passenger seat, letting his personal chauffeur drive through Seoul's traffic jams while he rests in a rear massage chair equipped with 4-zone climate control. However, in those rare moments when he wants to feel freedom, he will take the wheel. This is where the real magic happens. The Porsche Panamera Turbo S is equipped with the Porsche Active Suspension Management (PASM) system and rear axle steering system that makes the 5-meter-long car feel agile and responsive, as if it is following Jimin's every thought before he even turns the wheel. This is a harmony between man and machine that is very rarely found in other vehicles. The price? We're talking $180,000 to $200,000, and that was before Jimin added the personalization features that made it the only one in the world. Why is it considered super rare? Because in South Korea, having a Turbo S variant with a very specific black-on-black configuration like Jimin's is a status symbol that only a few elites have. It's a car for those who want to stay under the radar, but have the power to dominate the highway anytime they want. There's a deep emotional reflection here. Jimin chose a car that has two faces. It's very quiet and comfortable when run casually, but can turn into a very savage street predator when pressed. It is a reflection of his transformation from a shy young Busan man to a global icon who possesses deadly charisma under the spotlight. This car is a silent witness of the long nights of his return from the studio, where he ponders the lyrics of songs or simply enjoys solitude amid the never-sleeping frenzy of popularity. The Panamera Turbo S is an extension of his complex soul, a proof that although he says he is not interested in cars, he knows exactly how to choose the best of the best. Every curve of its aerodynamic body tells of its struggle to stay relevant and excel in an ever-changing industry. The existence of this car in second place is not only because of its exorbitant price, but because of the soul it carries, a luxury that does not scream, a power that does not need to show off, but will let anyone who sees it know that its owner is someone who has reached the top of the world. But if the luxury and speed of Jimin's Porsche already gives you goosebumps, get ready for the top position. We will close this list with a car that is not just a vehicle, but a myth, a symbol of boundless ambition and very provocative tastes. Who is the last member to occupy the highest throne with the rarest and most expensive car collection among others? The answer you may have guessed, but the details will leave you open-mouthed. Number 1. Jungkook. The Midnight Predator, the matte black billion-won legend, the ultimate golden beast. We have finally reached the summit of our luxury mountain, the absolute pinnacle of this high-octane journey through the secret lives of the world's biggest icons. There is only one name that could possibly occupy this spot. A name that resonates with a golden touch in everything he does, from breaking Billboard records to setting the internet on fire with a single post. We are talking about the youngest, the powerhouse, the man who grew up before our very eyes, Jungkook. When it comes to his taste in automobiles, Jungkook doesn't just look for a car, he looks for an extension of his own unstoppable spirit. While other members might lean towards the elegance of Europe or the raw muscle of America, Jungkook's choice is a machine that is as rugged, versatile, and intimidatingly powerful as he is on stage. We are diving deep into the legend of his Mercedes-Benz AMG G63, specifically the highly coveted Edition 1, in a menacing matte black finish. This isn't just an SUV, it is a fortress on wheels, a vehicle that was originally designed for military use but has been transformed into the ultimate symbol of global elite status. But what makes this number one isn't just the price tag, it's the staggering story behind it. In late 2022, a G-Wagon previously owned by Jungkook was put up for auction, and the world watched in absolute shock as the bidding war escalated into a frenzy, eventually closing at a mind-blowing 1.2 billion South Korean won, approximately $900,000. That is the Jungkook effect, turning a high-end machine into a priceless piece of history. But let's talk about the beast currently sitting in his private collection. The AMG G63 is a mechanical masterpiece, powered by a handcrafted 4-liter V8 bi-turbo engine that produces a thunderous 577 horsepower and 627 pounds-feet of torque. When this engine roars to life, it doesn't just hum, it growls with a deep, percussive vibration that you can feel in your very bones, echoing the heavy bass lines of his solo hits like 7 or Standing Next to You. Despite its heavy, boxy, and aerodynamic-defying shape, this monster can catapult from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a physics-defying 4.5 seconds. Imagine Jungkook, the man who masters every choreography with effortless power, gripping the AMG Performance steering wheel as the side exit exhausts spit fire and sound. The G-Wagon is famous for its bank vault door sound, a mechanical metallic thud that signifies absolute security. For someone who has lived his life in the spotlight since the age of 15, that sound represents the ultimate sanctuary. Inside, the cabin is a world of extreme contrast. Rugged carbon fiber meets the softest red pepper and black Napa leather, with diamond stitching that mirrors the precision of a master craftsman. It's reported that Jungkook's specific model features the most advanced technological packages available, including the widescreen cockpit and ambient lighting that can turn the interior into a private lounge. But why the G-Wagon? Why this specific bad boy aesthetic? It reflects the duality of the golden maknae. He is the baby of the group with a heart of gold, yet he possesses a physical strength and a rebellious edge that he isn't afraid to show. The matte black finish hides the car in the shadows of the night, providing him the privacy he needs to navigate the streets of Seoul without the constant chase of the lens. This car is a statement of independence. It's a vehicle that can conquer the harshest deserts or the most refined city streets, much like how Jungkook has conquered every genre of music he has ever touched. As we reflect on this collection, we see that Jungkook's car is more than a trophy. It is a testament to a young man who worked harder than anyone else to reach a point where he could tame such a beast. The G63 isn't just about speed, it's about presence. It's about the fact that when it rolls down the street, everything else seems to fade into the background. This is the ultimate number one because it carries the weight of a legacy, the power of a global superstar, and the mystery of a man who is still only just beginning to show the world what he is truly capable of. Every detail, from the iconic round LED headlights to the spare tire mounted on the back, screams authority. It is the perfect mechanical match for the man who has everything but still drives with the hunger of someone who has everything to prove. As the matte black paint shimmers under the city lights, we are left with a final, haunting question. In a world where he has already reached the absolute top, where will Jungkook and his 577 horsepower beast go next? The journey of the 7 kings of BTS is one for the history books, and their garages are just the silent witnesses to their incredible climb to the stars. This concludes our countdown of the most elite, rare, and emotionally charged machines in the world of BTS. These aren't just cars, they are the steel and carbon fiber souls of 7 legends who changed the world.